Well, good afternoon and welcome to the next episode of Army Up Table Talk, where we talk about career development related issues that impact military spouses. And today I am joined by my awesome teammate, Denise Lewis. And also we are super excited to have Miss Lauren Hope with us today. And Lauren is an Army wife. She's a staunch advocate and supporter of the military community. She's involved in a lot of different capacities. She's also a small business owner and entrepreneur extraordinaire. Lauren is the owner of Hope Design and also created the Shop Military movement. So Lauren, we're really grateful that she serves on our Army Up Spouse Advisory Council, which is what oversees the Army Up program that Denise and I coordinate. So thanks so much for joining us today. We're happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's a joy to be here.
Awesome. So just kind of start out, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your small business and kind of why you decided to start your own business?
Sure. So I have been an Army spouse for 15 years. And prior to the Army, I was a professional chef. And I feel like I've just been on the roller coaster ride of military life. Finding employment through all of our different moves, I could find it, but it wasn't usually the caliber that I was looking for. I used to work fine dining restaurants, and then we moved to the middle of nowhere, and it's challenging. So I did start doing private catering, and eventually, when we had children, my oldest son had 5 major food allergies. So that put the kibosh on everything that I was doing, and my life came to a screeching halt. I had to learn to cook again to keep him alive. And that was a pivoting point for me. From that point, I decided I was going to try my hand at having a small business, something where I could be in control of it and it could move along with us. And that's where Hope Design was born. Hope Design is it's a whole brand now of military themed gifts that are handcrafted by American military spouses. It started as this really tiny production where, during nap time and, at bedtime, I would just sit there and make jewelry at the kitchen table. And it's now grown into a brand where I employ multiple spouses and we wholesale to gift shops, and the whole business moves with us no matter where we go. So it's neat to have built a team that is now remote way before the pandemic made that a popular thing to do.
That's awesome. And I'm like obsessed with everything on your site.
Lauren, before I ask you the next question, you brought up a huge point. I think one thing that people fail to realize is that, entrepreneurial spouses can be employers. So how many employees do you have?
So I currently have 2 ladies that work with me. And then there seems to be a revolving door of part-time work that comes and goes with the holiday seasons. And my goal in being an employer now and having been through quite a large variety of employment situations is that I want to be the one that takes care of these military spouses, because I know how much they work so hard to care for their family and compensate for the careers that they really have been denied through this lifestyle. So whether it's flexibility and timing so that people can take care of their children or truly paying them a living wage, that's my goal.
That is just so awesome. And it's so awesome that now, spouses are becoming employers. And that's so great that, you have, wrapped your arms around those spouses. So, what was the process, for you starting your own business? Because you said you were a, cook,
Sure.
chef, you have many things. So
yes. It was a whole lot of trial and error. I was in that phase of life where my kids were in diapers. So there wasn't a lot of really great conversation going on. It was just going through the motions of taking care of them. So I had a lot of mental space to think things through and, give things a go. And if it didn't work, rework it, Yeah.
We're resilient, we can, adjust fire and, come out on the other side.
So in hindsight, looking back on the process of starting your own business, is there anything that you would change or anything that you wish you had known?
I started my business at a time where the internet was a thing, because I'm finding myself at that age where I'm like, life before the internet. The internet was there, but all the resources weren't there like they are today. So if you're looking at starting a business today, reach out to the resources that are there. The Small Business Administration, they have so many wonderful free things on their website. I know the Rosie Network and Bunker Labs. There are tons and tons and tons of groups. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Go utilize those resources. They're out there and they're free, and people want to help you. So take them up on that so you don't have to trial and error quite as many things as I did.
So in addition to the Rosie Network and some of the other things, the Small Business Administration, some other things that you've mentioned, what are additional resources specific to the military spouse community that could be helpful?
Oh, sure. Okay. So, well, a couple of them. So the National Military Family Association, they offer grants. I think it's twice a year, but don't hold me to that one. But it's they offer educational grants and they offer small business grants. So this is meant for military spouses to apply and get the grant so that you can, whether it's starting your business or actually that, we did receive one grant from them, and that was the catalyst for me starting to employ other spouses. I was at my maximum capacity for the business, running social media, making the product, doing all the things. And I knew that if I could hire someone else to help me with the process, we could do so much more together. And I actually hired a spouse to help me write the grant for her own job, and we got the grant so I could keep paying her. and she's still on my staff today. So I'm super grateful for Megan. She is amazing.
So now, can you talk about Shop Military, the initiative you started?
Certainly. There was a very crazy day in the fall of 2018 where a military spouse I hadn't heard from in a while called me. And so I knew something was probably up because, you see people, but when I saw her name pop up, I answered and she said, "Are you watching Fox News right now?" And I wasn't. And so as I was getting ready to go on the gate, she told me that Mrs. Pence was wearing one of my pieces of jewelry. And so that was kind of an Oprah moment for me, from the, okay, people like the things I make. So I had the happy screams as I met the gate guard, and he was a little shocked that day. But it was simply an experience where someone recognized my work, and it took my business to the next level. And overnight, that changed how many orders we received, awareness across the country, that kind of thing. And I felt a little selfish in that moment. And I don't know why I did, but I wanted to share that because I'd never seen that kind of spotlight before with my business. And I was just talking to Megan, and we thought, well, what about a hashtag? What if we could get other people in under this spotlight? And that's where Shop Military came around. So it is a not profiting social media movement where anybody can use the hashtag. And I've encouraged military spouses and veteran entrepreneurs, use it, let people find you. So if you go to shopmilitary.org, you will find a list of all the military related businesses that would like to meet you, and links to all the social media sites using the hashtag.
See, you know what? That selfless service, that's who we are as military spouses. You're already getting, great presentation for your work. And, in the midst of that, you're already thinking about somebody else. And, that's the essence of military spouses.
That's why our community is so neat, because we care so deeply about each other that there's nothing we wouldn't do for each other.
It's really special. It's a bond unlike any other. And even if you don't really know somebody, you feel connected.
Absolutely.
So how do you manage it all? I know you're a mom, you're actively engaged in advocating for other small businesses, you're running your own business, you're an employer.
You're on councils.
You're on our council.
So I just started another job.
You're doing table talks with us. So how do you manage it all?
I don't. I am so human. The reason I'm not on social media all the time showing the great pictures is because I don't have them. It's hard. I keep lists. I keep notes in a really tight calendar so that I always know. I don't rely on my brain to remember things anymore because my digital devices are going to do that for me. I also have a village, which is amazing, whether they're near or far. I rely on them heavily. You know, as my husband, who is still active duty, goes through varying positions, he's in an easy one right now for him. And so I can pick up a little bit more on my plate when his drops. And so we work as a team in that way.
I do have to say, you know, for those of you viewing, when we have Lauren on for our council, most times she's in her office, and you want to talk about somebody that is organized. She has every basket that's perfect behind her, and everything has its little space. And, you know, would you say sometimes, you know, if you start off organized, then it kind of helps everything follow through. So it's just not, you know, a mess everywhere.
So I've learned that I need to build systems. And that's really for me with my ADHD. I like to keep everything in line so that I don't see the squirrels and go over here. And you know, I'd ping around a lot if I didn't have them. But yes, everything's organized. It's all labeled, but it really helps because the reason I'm not in my office right now is I have 2 other girls working down there, and they know where to find everything because they know the system. They know the way I think. If I were Lauren, she would have, you know, stacked away there. So, and it's also helped managing military moves because there's so many pieces and parts. Everything's stored in a clear plastic storage container with the label on it. So when I get to the next place, I just pull the containers right out and put them back on the shelf. So it makes moving easy.
Well, I'm sure that helps as an employer because where you can be up doing this, you know, by organizing everything, you know, it kind of makes it easier for them so that they can continue to do what they do, you know,
absolutely,
without being there. So
absolutely.
Anybody starting a business, you know, take that tip.
And then for starting a business and the lists and staying organized, I'll actually be giving a talk here shortly on how to start your own small business. I do have available for anybody that would like it. I have a 1-pager roadmap. All the trial and error suggestions that I found worked. So if you'd like it, we will make it available to you at the Lauren Hope Collective. And so that's laurenhopecollective.com. I'll make sure that y'all get the link. We will have additional resources that explain each step just so that you don't have to struggle as much. You can struggle on something way further down the road. It'll be great, but we'll at least get you the head start.
And can we get a plug? This is your commercial. Can we get a plug for your business of jewelry so that somebody else could get one of the beautiful pins that Miss Pence had?
Certainly. So our website is hopedesignltd.com. So it's Hope Design Limited. And we handcraft everything from brooches, necklaces, and bracelets, everything for ladies. We have men's accessories as well. And we've actually started into a whole line of home gifts. So we engrave on slate and cutting boards and things like that, and leather. So we're trying to be your one-stop shop for your military gifting needs.
That is awesome. You know, you're incredible.
You are. And she provides a lot of good insight and information to us as a council member. So we are grateful to you for joining us today and for all of your help and insight, for your support of the military community and small business owners and Army spouses who are looking to follow in your footsteps and create their own business to take with them. So thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. And join us next time on our next edition of Army Up Table Talk.
Woohoo.